Good afternoon, Richie from Driftomaniacs here, and I'm here today with my Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 all-wheel drive VXL chassis. A couple of people had asked what mods I did onto the car, how I got the thing set up, so I just want to talk through a few of the things that I've done to the car and also show you the Bluetooth app settings that I'm using when running this car for the speed run videos. Well, the first thing I want to talk through is the slide suspension mods that I've done so far. So just going to take the camera off the tripod, show you that. Well, the VXL model comes with two sets of shock absorber sort of pre-tensioning parts on here, so you can fit the same to all four shocks if you so wish. However, what I've done so far, I've just put the medium spacer in the front. At the rear, I've put the large spacer. Keeps the front just that little bit more supple for absorbing the bumps, and that stiffer rear helps me able to put the power. Now, I don't claim to be a suspension expert, a suspension artist, anything like that. What I found is this works for me. People have asked, what am I doing? This works for me. With the front having the smaller spacer in and the rear having the bigger spacer in, also it's giving the car a tiniest little bit of rake, so it's sitting slightly, like over exaggerated, it's sitting slightly lower at the front on there, and that's stopping, certainly so far, any high-speed blowovers on there. So it seems to be working. Like I've just enough on there. On the front, nice and absorbent. The rear, considerably stiff, not with too much movement in there, but that seems to be helping keep the thing under control. Now, my friend Alan is going to help me tune the suspension arms and the thing, hopefully at the weekend, and we're just going to put a little bit of toe out on there for the higher speed runs. So that is all I've done to suspension so far. I do have some foam tyres on order for the fronts and the rears on these. These are the VXL tyres, so not getting too many issues with them ballooning too much. Just maybe as the winter is approaching, maybe a little more grip, but I'm finding there's debris blowing down onto my test track, which is maybe getting under the wheels here. Well, I figured if I was going to get this thing to really fly along, I wanted to minimise the transmission losses. So I've gone ahead and invested in something which you can't even see on the car. This thing is fitted with ceramic bearings all round. Everything has been replaced. They're from Boca Bearing and ARP, that's Advantage Racing Products. Linked to all of those parts below the video. The first thing I did on the bearings was not fit the ones on the outside of the wheel. The first thing I did was fit all the ones to the transmission, to both gearboxes, and also replace the centre bearing by the spur to minimise my transmission losses from the drivetrain, so to speak. I then added the ones on to the outer wheels. As I say, link to all those below the video. It runs so much smoother. It just coasts forever and a day when you ease off. So I'd highly recommend you bite the bullet and order the ceramic bearings. Great mod. Really makes the thing super smooth as well. Want to see the biggest and best change I made to the car? It's this. I fitted the Bluetooth module to my transmitter, thus enabling me to run the Traxxas Link app to fully control a wide range of aspects from the car. Although the manual shows you how to change them directly from the transmitter, quite awkward to my mind. You can be done in seconds from the Link app. Anyway, okay, just to point out, the Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 all-wheel drive VXL and the Ford GT come with the Traxxas Link enabled, but not the Bluetooth module. You will need to buy this separately. I'll put a link to it below the video if you choose to get one. The Mustang, the Ford Mustang GT and the non-VXL version don't come with a Link enabled. I don't believe, might be wrong on that one. Anyway, let me show you my all-important app settings, which completely changed the handling of this car. Well, I'm not going to go into that in any great detail, as it's way more complex than this video requires. Just to show you there, Richie's VXL connected. Okay, done. Click on Drive Effects. Here are all the settings that I'm using. Okay, TSM assistance, I got on 88.9 there. I've actually been running it more at 66, but I just increased it as the other day when I was running. Track was getting a little bit dusty, a little bit gravel on there, so finding it a little bit more on there. Steering sensitivity 49.6, particularly for the speed runs, absolutely essential. The stock steering is far too sensitive for my mind. You're trying to correct it at high speed with the stock setting, a recipe for disaster, smacking into the curb. Throttle sensitivity 44.1. My god, he's only running half power. No, I'm not. does not affect the maximum amount of throttle at all, just the amount of sensitivity that you get on the thing, so you can feed the power in more gently when going for those high speed runs. It really doesn't affect the top speed. You can have this set on 100% and the thing's just going to feed too much power in, spin those rear wheel around. So back off the throttle sensitivity, find a slightly larger area to go play in. You'll be able to go just as fast, but you'll get there so much more safely. What it said on 44.1. Steering percentage 44.1 as well. Predominantly this is what I've been using on those big high speed runs, because you don't want a huge amount of steering. You don't want like 45 degrees. You want just maybe 5-6 degrees on each way. You don't, any input you put into it, you don't want being massive. So correct that steering percentage on there. Braking 95%. My throttle trim just set at 0 on there. Give that a try. It transformed the viciousness of the car, from converting it from something that was maybe driving on a knife edge at speed to something that was very, very comfortable and felt bolted to the ground. With those suspension settings as well, the thing just sticks to the ground like glue. Well, there we go. That's the exact settings and suspension setup that I've been running in all of the videos on those high-speed runs so far, and the thing feels absolutely bolted to the ground. Very, very stable at high speed. This is what works for me. As I say, I'm no suspension expert at tuning the car up, anything like that, but people ask, what are you doing on that car? This is what I've been doing. This is what works for me. Particularly the app settings, the changes on those will just transform your high-speed driving on that thing. You can back the TSM off, I would say, down to 50-60% without any worries, without it, and it will still feel very planted to the ground. But the other day I upped the TSM because the track had a lot of debris, a lot of dust on there, and I think it was getting a little bit loose in places on there, and I personally don't fancy having a 70-mile-an-hour crash with an near-on $400 car. Anyway, any comments or questions on that? And by the way, I highly recommend fitting the ceramic bearings. Your car will love you for it in the longer run, and the thing of it is, as they wear in, the thing just gets faster and faster. Anyway, I hope you like that Traxxas 4-Tec 2.0 speed update there. If you did, please subscribe, and if you found it useful, please share with others.
Well, if you like this video, then please do subscribe. And if you want to buy your RC gear, where I buy mine, buy from F&M Hobbies in New Jersey. Many thanks for watching.